Hi friends, it's Allison here, dropping in to share another layout with you today. Happy Halloween week. I know that it's not Halloween yet, but it is happening this weekend, and I won't see you again until next week, so I thought I would just wish you a happy Halloween before the day actually happens. It's supposed to be really nice here in my neck of the woods. Which is great news for the twins because they are super looking forward to trick-or-treating, and I kind of told them I wasn't going to take them if it was really cold. So happily it looks like it's going to be a really nice evening, so yay for us. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween wherever you are, and I hope you rake in lots of goodies. The layout that I'm sharing with you today is going to be a little bit different than I have done in the past. I'm actually scrap lifting myself. The layout that I scrap lifted hasn't been shared yet anywhere yet, so I am going to show you a little sneak peek at the completed layout. But I took this layout and turned it 1/4 degree turn and lifted it. And I think I'm going to make this here is the layout that I am referring to. I think I'm going to start a series here on my page. Let me know what you think on my page on my YouTube, where I do one layout 2 ways, like once a month. Maybe a little more frequently, just kind of depending on the response I get and what you guys think. But I'd like to keep enough time between layouts for myself personally so that I can get design team requirements and other crafting fit in easily and out of the way as well. So let me know what you think. So this is my first, technically, one layout 2 ways YouTube process. So I started off with some watercoloring, mixed media in the background. When I was looking at the design for this layout, I knew that I wanted to add some mixed media in the background. I did prepare my white cardstock with some gesso beforehand, so it was ready to take the mixed media, and I just used a regular old paintbrush to apply my gesso. I have used my fingertips in the past as well. That works really well to spread the gesso around as well. I've tried some other tools and it never worked so well. It was always really gappy, for lack of a better way to put it. There was always large gaps missing in the gesso, so when I added my watercolors, it would soak through the paper, and I didn't like that. So for the longest time, I used my fingers to spread it, which worked really well. And then on a whim today, I decided to try a paintbrush, and that works fantastic as well. So if you're new to using gesso, those are good things to remember as well. So unlike the first layout that I showed you that I created, I rotated the design on this layout. So rather than having the tag on the right hand side of the page spanning the width of the layout, I flipped it so that the tag spanned the length of the layout on the left hand side, and then I adhered the flowers and actually the picture pretty well the same way as in the original, but obviously not quite. I added some hand stitching to this layout as well. There's some black stitching, or actually dark gray stitching, in the background paper of the tag, which was actually cut with my Cricut from Close to My Heart pattern paper. It is retired. And I also used black embroidery thread to stitch the navy blue flowers in the floral clusters as well. And then to take the floral clusters one step further, I added, I think they're called waterfall stickles, to the centers of the flowers and then to the blue tendrils that come off of it as well. I let that dry for a little bit. I even took my heat tool to it just to help speed up the drying process a little bit. After letting it sit aside for a little while and then adhered it to the layout, I used foam squares to put the flowers and the picture onto the layout base. there is a little tag to the right hand side of, or a tab I mean, to the right hand side of the page. I stamped the date on that. This is a layout of Canada Day last year, 2019, and we had some free entertainment happening down at our local Rotary Park in town. And one of the guests that performed that evening was Trevor Pansak. He is a country music singer, and he came up to Whitecourt with his band and performed on Canada Day for us. It was a fantastic show. It was cold. I froze that night, but it was a lot of fun. We actually got to meet Trevor afterwards. I know one of his bandmates from a past life many years ago when I went to college. And it was kind of neat to meet him and talk with him a bit and obviously buy some merchandise. And I think my girls thought it was pretty cool too. So I'm just adding some embellishing now. I cut some stars with my Cricut. There's a little cowboy hat. And right now I am adding a little subtitle. It's not really technically a subtitle, but that's what I'm calling it. I'm going to stamp it on white cardstock. It's just going to say howdy y'all, just to fit the whole Western theme. I'm stamping that with my Close to My Heart Toffee ink. And of course I'm using my favoriteest stamp ever, which is Modern Typewriter Alpha Stamp Set, also from Close to My Heart. I will link all of the available products that I used today in this layout down below. So if you're interested in stocking up or want to have a little peek at my Close to My Heart shop, you are welcome to do that. There's no charge to you if you come swing by and have a look at my website. But if you do decide to shop there, only Canadian residents can do so. Sorry about that, but that's the way it goes at Close to My Heart, I guess. I'm just adding some journaling lines now to the top of the picture, and I'll add some more below. I think I did that first actually. And I ran into a little bit of problem here. I added a little bit more watercoloring above the picture because I wasn't happy with just the teensy weensy little bit that was poking out on the left hand side of the layout. So I added a bit more, but I tried writing my journaling before it had fully dried. So I took my heat gun to it a couple times, switched pens because I thought that was the issue to begin with. It wasn't. I just needed to let it dry a little bit more, and once that was done, I was able to fill in the spots that didn't write so well. But it does look kind of messy in that corner just because of that little mistake. So note to self, don't do that again, basically. And if you do decide to add watercoloring after the fact, give yourself ample time to let it dry before you attempt journaling. And with that, this layout is pretty well done, my friends. I added some pops of pink just to tie in Marin's shirt to the whole layout. Otherwise, I followed the cues from the pictures and added gray and lots of blue. I hope you enjoyed today's layout. There are some close-ups and still shots coming up at the end here. Oh, and I'm also adding some gold splatter. I picked up some Recollections Gold glitter mist from Michael's this weekend, and I'm loving it. So I had to add a little bit more gold to the layout just to tie in the browns in the layout as well. And that's it, my friends. Here's the close-ups. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic week. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and a like. I'd really love to hear your feedback, and I will be back again next week with a new layout. Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.